Okay, let's get right into it. We are going to take a sledgehammer to the #1 excuse that keeps businesses small. You know the one, the single belief that just might be holding you back right now.
Does that sound familiar? Oh, it's just too competitive. It's a total red ocean out there. There are way too many people doing what I do. We've all heard it, right? And hey, let's be honest, a lot of us have probably said it because it feels true.
But what if that feeling, that gut instinct that the market is full, what if it's not just wrong, but like 99% wrong? What if that feeling has nothing to do with the market and everything to do with something else? Well, that's what we're going to unpack.
So here's the game plan. First, we're going to expose the myth itself. Then, I'm going to show you just how big your market actually is. After that, we'll get into the tools to reach it, how to evolve your business over time, and finally, we'll talk about the mindset shift that changes everything.
So, first things first, why do we all jump to this conclusion? Honestly, it's usually about protecting our ego. Think about it. It is so much easier to blame some big external thing like the market than it is to look in the mirror.
So here's the translation. When we say my market is saturated, what we really mean deep down is something more like my ads aren't very good, or maybe I haven't learned the skill of talking to people who don't already know they need my thing. See the difference? It's a skill gap, not a market gap.
And that idea right there leads us to the biggest aha moment of this whole thing. You think you're staring at the entire room, but the truth is you've been peeking through a tiny, tiny keyhole. Let me show you what I'm talking about.
Okay, so this is how most of us see our world, right? A little pie chopped up between us and the 2 or 3 competitors we see on Instagram every single day. Looking at this, of course it feels crowded. It feels like you're all just fighting over the same few scraps.
Now, take a deep breath. This is the reality. That entire crowded market, that whole pie you were just stressing about, that's just 1%, a tiny little sliver of what's actually out there. The other 99%, it's wide open, untapped potential.
So you're probably wondering, where is this magical 99%? Well, it's everywhere you're not looking yet. It's on all the content platforms you aren't making stuff for. It's in the paid ad channels you haven't figured out. It's available through DMs, phone calls, even direct mail. And the biggest piece of it all? It's made up of millions of people who don't even know a solution like yours is a thing.
This is why we need to completely reframe how we think about competition. A red ocean shouldn't scare you. It's actually a massive sign that says, hey, lots of hungry customers over here. Fierce competition just proves that there's a valuable, thriving market to be in. Okay, so now you know the 99% is out there. The big question is, how do we get to it? How do we stop peeking through the keyhole and just kick open the door? Well, it really boils down to 3 core levers for growth.
It's this simple. Number 1, you got to make more content, put it in more places, and do it way more consistently. Number 2, you have to use paid ads to break out of your little organic bubble and systematically reach new people. And number 3, direct outreach. Proactively going out and starting conversations yourself. That's how you create demand out of thin air.
Now, let's zoom out a little and look at the long-term game. Your business isn't meant to stay the same forever. As your skills get better, your market can grow right along with you. The best way to think about it is a journey, from a tiny puddle to a massive ocean.
Almost everyone starts out in a puddle, a really specific niche where it's easier to become the biggest fish. But once you own that puddle, your skills are sharp enough to move into a pond. Then, from the pond to a lake, and eventually you build the skills and the confidence to swim in the open ocean with the biggest players out there. It's a natural evolution.
So, how do you actually make these jumps? There are 5 basic moves. You can go upmarket, serving fewer clients for more money. You can go downmarket, serving way more people for less money. You can move adjacent, like if you serve gyms, maybe you start serving chiropractors. You could go broader and serve all health and wellness businesses. Or you could even go narrower and decide to only serve, say, spin studios. And hey, if you have a brick-and-mortar business, don't think this doesn't apply. For you, it's about expanding capacity. More chairs, longer hours. Then, adding new channels to drive people to your location. And only when you have truly maxed that place out do you open a second one. All right, this all leads us to the final piece of the puzzle. And honestly, it's the most critical part. It's a complete mindset shift. It's understanding that the hard parts of your business, they aren't problems. They're the whole point. You have to embrace this idea, feature, not a bug. Every single business has a hard part.
For a service business, it's finding and managing great people. For an e-commerce brand, it's managing cash and inventory. That difficulty isn't a mistake. It's not a bug. It's the core feature. It's the very challenge that you get paid to solve better than anybody else.
And look, every business model has a different shape and a different hard part. Info products start fast but struggle to keep customers. SaaS is slow at first, then can explode, but it costs a fortune to build. E-commerce scales fast, but your cash flow is a roller coaster. Service businesses are slow and steady, but man, they are people-intensive. There's no easy mode.
This is the switch. This is the whole thing right here. You stop saying, I can't get enough leads, and you start saying, I don't have the skill yet to get more leads. You stop saying, no one good wants to work for me, and you start saying, I don't have the skill yet to attract and lead A players. That one little word, yet, changes everything. It puts the power back in your hands. It makes the outcome your responsibility.
At the end of the day, it just comes down to what kind of story you want to live. You can choose the story where you were a victim of a saturated market. Or you can choose the story of the person who saw the challenge, decided to build the skills, and won anyway.
Because the market is never the reason. Your skills are always the answer. So the only real question is, what story are you going to choose to write?